There are many different fears in life. It may be spiders for some people, talking to girls, or your parents seeing your report card, I don't know. But there's one thing every human on earth shares a fear of. This notorious fear has been going on for generations. This fear is so catastrophic to the point where people avoid this fear at all costs. And this fear is a job. Everybody, calm down, okay? I know I used the forbidden J word, but please watch this video. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking about the job experience in 2025. So if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right, let's keep it real. If we all had an opportunity to not have a job and still get paid, we would all take it. Because unless you're a millionaire's son or daughter, you're more than likely gonna have to get a job at least once in your life. And some people wanna avoid this so much to the point where they would rather go to the streets then get employed. Like at that point, just clock in, Brody. Okay, so I'm working 2 jobs right now, right? I'm doing this while I go to school. And let me tell y'all, this sucks, bro. I remember back in those days where I didn't have to work a job, like in middle school to like my sophomore year of high school. All I had to worry about was going to school, getting good grades, and sports, really. But as you grow older, you gotta start making some money because you finna start having some bills to pay, bro. And really, your job experience depends on where you work at. Because I won't lie to y'all and say having a job is just gonna suck. Because some jobs can be actually really fun. It just depends on the people and the management you work with. I've had jobs where I stayed there for 1 year, and I had jobs where I stayed there for 1 day. It really depends on the people you work with. Because my first job ever was at Wendy's, right? And let me tell y'all thought Popeyes workers were bad? Bro, I was working with my friends. And let me tell y'all, we didn't give a flying I'm giving out free food in front of the manager, and at the drive-thru I'm on the mic, but I'm telling my friends to shut up because I'm trying to take his order. Like, they can hear everything, bro. Even the manager told me we are like the worst workers, but we're so entertaining, and that's why they're keeping us. Because there was no way I wasn't fired my second week. I should have been fired. And I worked there for almost a year. So if they come across this video, what's up, y'all? I know y'all miss us, okay? I'm trying to tell y'all, it was horrible, bro. But other jobs you can leave on your first day. Like me at Portillo's or the movie theater. I was working in the Italian beef section. And the people I were working with, a majority of them were cool, but in my section, they sucked, bro. And if the thing turns red for their order, that means you're at least like 10 or 20 minutes behind for their order. And when you're behind on their order, the manager gets on your ass. But it's my first day. First of all, nobody was there to train me. So literally, as I'm struggling to make these orders and I'm just throwing whatever on there, I look at my friend. He looks at me and I'm like, we're quitting. Or at the movie theater, I was working in the back of the house and I was a dishwasher. So as I'm washing the dishes, it hits around 11 o'clock and I'm like, damn, what time do I go home? Because on the board it says what time you're supposed to leave, but I noticed with my name, the end time is empty. Like, there's nothing written there. So I was like, oh, this must be a mistake. So I asked my manager, I'm like, yo, so like, what time am I supposed to leave? And it looked like he was avoiding the question. So I asked him again, what time am I supposed to leave? And then he told me, you leave when the last movie airs. You said what? So I want y'all to imagine this. Say you get there at 4 p.m., right? The last movie airs at 2 in the morning. And I remind y'all, when the last movie airs, you have to wait till it finishes because they can still order something. Now you gotta wash everything from these movie theaters, right? Place them back where they were, then you go home. Nah, I'm not doing that. As soon as he told me that, I was just getting ready to walk out, but I decided I was gonna finish that shift. And I had another dude that was hired to be a dishwasher, so we had 2 dishwashers, bro. But we were still gonna be leaving at like 3 in the morning. So the same day, I quit. My mom literally dropped me off to work and then I told her the next day, yeah, ma, so I quit. And then she got on my ass about how you shouldn't be quitting jobs like that, but you don't understand, mom. You have a job. You have a career. I got this job so I could get some Robux, okay? But as you start growing older, you have to start taking your job more serious because you don't want to get fired anymore because you got bills to pay or you got food you need to eat. So tell me why, as you're starting to take a job more serious, it's more hard to find jobs, especially in 2025. Like in 2025, you might as well not use these apps anymore to find a job because they will never get back to you, bro. Like, I'm so tired of these things saying urgently hiring, so when I send them a perfect resume, because you know I lied on it, tell them I had a 4.0 GPA, I graduated top of the class in high school, and I'm looking for a full-time job, they're gonna look at that, right? I'll have full experience and everything. Tell them I'm a veteran, and they're still gonna skip past me. But when you find a new job, they're gonna try and text you for an interview now. Like, nah, y'all lost y'all chance, bro. My best advice for finding a job, don't use those apps, bro. Or you might as well, you could apply, but you'll 10 times more likely get an interview if you go inside the place. Go inside the place and ask for a manager. And when the manager comes, just ask them if they're hiring because they remember the people that initiate. Let me tell y'all, getting a job is so easy, but at the same time, it's so hard. hard. But trust me, walk into the building and ask for a manager and ask them if you guys are hiring and be like, I would love to have an opportunity for an interview. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, I was cold. I was a job hopper, but I was cold, bro. But I can't even lie to y'all, these interviews be so goofy nowadays. They'll ask you questions like, why are you here? Money? I haven't ate anything in 3 days. I need some money. Or if a person was trying to rob the store, what would you do? And you already know me. I just watched the first episode of Cobra Kai, so I'm ready. If he ever tries to rob me, I'm just gonna straight up. But yeah, man, those interviews be so crazy, bro. Because you know why I'm here, but you gotta lie for the interview. But congratulations, once you get that interview in, you're hired. And I'll see you next week. And me, I work in the fast food industry. And let me tell y'all, working in the food industry, you gotta deal with some of the craziest people of all time. I've had people ask me some of the stupidest stuff of all time. I remember one person asked me if ice cream had dairy in it. Or customers be getting mad at you for the prices like you put the price on the thing. It's not my fault. Why are you here? They would ask for the manager and be like, the price isn't right, just for them to tell you the price is right. And be like, bro, you're wasting both of our times, man. Or you know you're gonna have customers be coming in when you have 2 minutes left till close, asking to get a catering order or something. Like, no, get out. But let me not sit here and just talk about all negative for jobs, right? Because a job can also be really fun. It just depends on what you wanna do. But 9 times out of 10, people do not want a job. That's why I'm making YouTube videos, hoping one day that one of my videos will blow up. Because as soon as my video blows up and I start getting motion with my channel, best believe my jobs are gonna say goodbye. Because one of the worst fears in my life is being stuck where I'm at. Because I'm 20 right now, right? But back when I was 17, I was just letting life cruise by. I'm talking, I don't think I had a job and I was just playing basketball and it was summer. So I'll never forget, I went downtown. And when I went downtown with one of my friends, it was like a wake-up call for me. Because when I went downtown, I seen a 45 or 50-year-old man drinking alcohol and playing with high schoolers around people my age. And that installed a fear inside of my soul. And I'm so glad it did, because I refuse to be in that position when I'm older. So after that day, I decided to lock in. I got me a job and then I just started working. Because one of the worst fears in your life should be being stuck where you're at. And we all go at our different paces. But my greatest advice is keep taking a step forward. Do not be stuck where you're at. Even when you feel like you can't do anything, do something. Don't just waste it by letting time fly by. Because let me tell y'all, I went from 17 to 20 like that, bro. And I made so much progress in between then, because if I didn't go that day, I probably would have been stuck where I'm at. And now I'm going to school for HVAC and stuff, and life's getting better. So if you're unemployed right now watching this video, just get a job. At least learn how to move in the industry. Because when you get older, you're not gonna wanna stay with your mom, right? Right? Because everybody in their life wants freedom. Nobody wants somebody to tell them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. But the greatest thing you can do right now is get a job while you're young and just learn how to move in the industry. And don't let time just fly by, bro, because time waits for nobody. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, just start. Or if you got a side hustle, just start. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna need a job to get the stuff, right? But do not let time take away what you have right now, which is time. But anyways, man, that's gonna end this video, bro. Today we had to talk about the art of being employed. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I pray I blow up on YouTube soon. Thank y'all so much for 5.1K, or 5.12K actually, you know? And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out. By the way, guys, I got a new room, because I just moved, right? That's why I haven't been posting. Bro, y'all see the setup?